Is it true that once you vote in the union, you can't undo it later?
Yeah, I can talk about no, it's not true. The law requires certain procedures for voting in the union, and then there are procedures for voting the union out. The management always likes to say, "Oh no, you can't get rid of it," and therefore you should throw away your voting materials and so forth. And it's just not true. It happens only very rarely. That is true. And we believe that's because employees in this industry pretty quickly realize that they really need to have a union, and they don't vote it out. So if management says, well, it never happens, yeah, that's true. But is there a procedure? Absolutely. The Railway Labor Act provides procedures on how you would, sort of reverse the process and vote a union out. So it's just another red herring that they commonly throw into the debate to try to confuse and cause concern.
I'd also like to point out that when I spoke earlier about getting the facts, Northwest flight attendants have had 3 unions within the same uniform, and they have never opted to vote out, which was something that they could do every time that they had a vote. They could have voted to not have a union, and not once did they vote not to have a union. So I think that speaks volumes for the representation that we can get.
Just to be clear on the procedures, if there's already a union on the property, in order to vote it out, you would have to call for a new election the same way as you do now, which is submit cards to show that you want to have an election. And then if in that election less than 50% cast a vote, then the union, you end up with no union, just like you will this time. If less than 50% cast a vote, you won't have a union. If there's a union on the property, it takes more cards to trigger that process. You have to have 50% cards to trigger the process. But once the voting starts, it's the same rules, and if less than half cast a vote, then you wind up with no union. So it's just not true what the company says about that.